On YouTube, there's thousands of Fortnite pros pushing their limits trying to get to the highest rank in Fortnite. Unreal. And so I thought, why not give it a try? I have 2 more months of summer. That's enough time to get to Unreal, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm garbage at Fortnite. Plus, the amount of people who actually get to Unreal each season is incredibly low. This season alone, only a little over 70,000 players got Unreal. There are 10 million people who play Fortnite, but with these extremely unfavorable odds, I decided to sacrifice my sanity to get Unreal. In my first game of this challenge, I got 7 eliminations and was going strong until this happened. Giving me silver 1. A good start, which will prove to be very useful throughout the coming weeks of the challenge. Unfortunately, I died off spawn in my second match. However, my next game didn't end so quickly though. I got a kill almost a quarter through the match and even got another kill with a cool car I made. Unfortunately for me, he disabled the car as I killed him, so that wasn't very cool. I did pretty good for the rest of the match with 4 kills and ending in 16th place. In the next few games I played, nothing interesting really happened. But I knew that I had to enjoy these games because most of the challenge wouldn't be actually actively fighting and trying to get to the victory royale. Most of the challenge would be trying not to fall asleep as I watched my character stay crouched in a bush for the entire game. This challenge has only just started. It's been an entire week since the challenge started, and all I've done between the last recording and this one was rank up once. So not much progress so far, but I wanted to change that today, so I queued up for my next game. Didn't really go as planned. But the next game actually went pretty well, and I almost won until this happened. Unfortunately, that was my last match of the day, but the torment didn't stop after turning off the game. Doubt began to infiltrate my thoughts, and I began to wonder if I could even finish the challenge. All I did in a 7-day span was rank up once. If I were to keep this up, I would only get to Diamond 2, not even close to Unreal. Something needed to happen. And something definitely happened. Over the weekend, my cousin, known online as Smirkington, flew to Minnesota and helped me get to Platinum 2. This is huge for the challenge. If he hadn't come to Minnesota, I don't think I would have any hope of getting to Unreal, and would probably have quit the challenge before just 1 month of trying. This gave me the motivation I needed to keep grinding, and with this determination, I continued the challenge. So a couple of days ago, I saw a short that basically talked about the best drop spots, and the drop spot for the strategy was this dock thing right over here, kind of next to Brawler's Battleground and Redline Rig, so there might be some competition, but this drop spot still looks very promising, so I want to try it out. Almost there. I can hear like 2 people dropping here, so I just want to get a gun as fast as I can. I got the gun before he did and proceeded to kill him with it afterward. My luck continued when I found a diamond chest right next to the general area that I landed at. I explored the map a bit and looted some chests, but nothing too interesting happened until I stumbled across this vault right here. There was a person inside of it, so I decided to push the vault for some extra loot. It did not go as planned. I'll just let the clip speak for itself. So unfortunately, I did not end on a victory royale, and this theme would stay consistent for most of the challenge because how could I farm placement points when I was pushing everybody? It just wouldn't work with the challenge. Keeping up the consistency, it's only been a day since we last recorded. Pretty cool, right? As I said earlier, it's only been a day since my last recording session, but that doesn't mean I didn't make any progress at all. Now, I'm at Platinum 3, and hopefully today I'll be able to rank up again. During my off-camera grinding yesterday, I found a nice little spot right here next to 2 vaults in an unnamed location that has multiple chests and ammo box spawns. But the main reason I landed here was because there's a rock right next to this tree right here. Doesn't sound important at first glance until you realize what my strategy for this match and multiple other matches truly is. As John Robb, the creator of this strategy, describes it as, it's a structure with 3 walls supporting the ramp placed in a way to prevent the enemy player checking where you really are, which is right under the ramp. This strategy would prove to be effective throughout the match, and the surviving players were reduced by half during that time. I had to eventually relocate due to storm complications, but I found a better spot in the next storm circle. The storm caught up to me again, but I didn't try to escape it. Just south of my current position, there's a vault that's just opening. I didn't have a very good loadout because I've been staying in my beds for the entire match, so I needed the vault. After I looted the vault, I headed over to Lavish Lair, and I got 2nd place and ended at Platinum 3. As of writing this script, I still can't explain how I did this. Somehow I must have locked in or something, with my only breaks being the matchmaking queue, and I got to Diamond 3. That's 3 of the most toughest ranks to pass. Most people get stuck on Diamond and never pass it. While writing this script, it's Chapter 2 OG, and my last season I got stuck on Diamond 1 in the first 2 weeks and never passed it. Anyways, I broke the rock and built the ramp, this time in a different place than usual so I'd keep a lower profile but still be hidden, and waited for the storm to come. After I graduated from high school, got my college degree, and GTA 6 dropped, the storm finally came. By the time I exited the storm, only 16 players were still alive, but if you actually thought I'd win the game, you're wrong because I died with 11 people left and no kills. Another day, another miracle. Remember how I said I was surprised I moved 3 ranks in 2 days? Well, that's barely a highlight of the video compared to this. I got to champion. And not just champion, but over halfway through it. I'm now in the top 1.6% of players out of the 10 million that are being tracked on FortniteTracker.com. I can only hope I can continue this grind into the next few matches. Normally, I'd say that none of my game strategies were better than the others, but this one might actually be the best one yet. It's a mixture of both of my strategies, because the main focus is that I'm hidden in a bush, but I'm also located where my first drop spot was. And now that I've landed, I wait. For some reason, I decide to leave my bush and go for the vault nearby. This plan is unsuccessful and I die in a zipline. And I unfortunately lost 3 ranked percentages. 48 hours remain. I am once again 1% away from Unreal. With 48 hours left, victory seems easy, but one bad match in my past 2 months would have meant nothing. This match, I decided to drop very close to my last match right here next to the bridge. Once I enter the bush, I immediately put down my controller and leave the room due to anxiety. I don't want to watch what could happen next. Since I wasn't there for the following clip, there's no narration, so I'll just show you guys the time-lapse clip. About 4 minutes into the clip, you can hear me come back into the room and start watching YouTube shorts. And this continued for at least another 5 minutes. That is until Storm catches up and forces me to finally put the phone down and leave my sacred bush. When I leave the storm, I don't get in the next circle in an effort to encounter less players. Because I only have 10 health left, I leave the bush a little early to secure a nice spot without any further damage. I kinda just bounce from bush to bush, slowly getting closer to the circle so I don't get caught. There isn't a lot that happens in between going from one bush to the next, so I'll just skip ahead until I get interested. And the next interesting part is, unfortunately, also the end of the match. Because I only placed 10th, I don't gain or lose anything from it, which I will take. This match, I decided to go back to one of my first spots I ever dropped in this challenge, right here. Once I get to my favorite bush, I again leave the room. The stakes couldn't be higher, and I am not trying to watch myself lose my entire summer to a Fortnite challenge. 48 hours remain. As my twitching hands pick up the controller, I remind myself I cannot mess this up. So I leave the storm as early as I can so I can have extra health in case things get rough. I find a bush nearby and use the same strategy as last match, bouncing from bush to bush, getting closer to safety each time. Eventually, the storm caught up and I had to leave my nice plant. I find a shallow river and decide to use its current for mobility. This is probably one of the worst moves I could have made because swimming does make a lot of noise. It would be nice if I could find a bush just so I can keep a lower profile. Thankfully, that wish is granted because just along the riverbank, there's a nice big bush right here. I don't stay very long because I have to keep moving or storm will catch me. I sprint down a long dirt path leading to a minor build fight that must have happened earlier in the game because none of the builds are fresh. But just in case there's somebody taking refuge in the build fight, I want to stay hidden. I stay inside of the bush for a while until the player count reaches below 10. I am so close. I just need to survive a bit more. However, security can't last long enough and I'm pushed out of my hiding spot by Storm and am left stranded and open for any opposing player to shoot at me. I run down the dirt path and spot the same type of plant I used earlier that can be used pretty well for camouflage with my skin. I sprint with all the stamina I have to get to the plant and swiftly jab the right stick to crouch. I'm safe for now. A good eye could spot my big black eyes and colorful dagger. Not to mention a second glance could make it obvious that I was hiding in this small plant, but I can't worry about that right now. The only thing on my mind should be survival. As my heart rate increases at a rapid pace, I look over to the player count and watch it slowly tick down, each death a step closer to Unreal. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Just as the player count reaches 3, shotgun shells rain down on my character and I disappear into tiny blue squares. I'm dead. Now my heartbeat has really reached its climax. I anxiously press X on my controller to receive my results. And after 750 Fortnite matches, 2 months, 300 hours of straight Fortnite, I finally did it. I have reached Unreal. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/ZapfishFR. I'll be streaming later today after this video drops. Also, I just want to give a huge shout out to Smirkington, who helped me reach Unreal. I've linked his channel in the description, and with that said, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.